Yo, New Mexico, it's Rick from Jericho here to give you your first DIY on how to generally plant trees and shrubs in the Albuquerque and New Mexico area. Once you've made your choice, the important thing is to dig a big enough hole, and big enough is wider, not deeper. You want your hole twice as wide as the container but the same depth. Your water and feeder roots are in the top 2 foot of soil, so there's no need to go any deeper than the root ball, and it's important not to cover up this graft point on the tree. Most fruit trees, most roses, and some shade trees are grafted, and it's important not to cover that graft point up. So once your hole is dug and your soil is prepped, then it's really easy. It's backfilling the tree back into the hole. We've done some measuring, so I know that I'm pretty accurate. I use a shovel handle to find my depth, but I'll bet you that we find that this tree is right at the level it needs to be. If you put soil on one side or the other to get the angle of where you want it straight, peel off a little bit, so just a little dirt on that side of the hole. Tell the tree's right where you want it to be, facing and doing it the way you want to. Then, either with the shovel or your hands, I like getting my hands dirty, so I get right down in here, and you have this back-to-earth compost mixed with your regular soil, again at about a 50-50 ratio. There's no need to do more than 50%. In fact, it's a detriment. You need to keep your native soil mixed with good soil, and it's a 50-50 ratio. You backfill the hole in, all the way around, kind of packing as you go. Okay, when you're in the nursery, one of the things I'm telling my customers, and we didn't do it here because I had my soil already mixed, but I dig the hole, I put a pile of dirt on one side of the hole, another pile of dirt on the other side. I mix the back-to-earth compost or peat moss with the one pile of dirt. This is just a Rick trick, but it helps you remember and understand what we're trying to accomplish here. Your good soil is mixed 50-50 out of the hole. Out of the other side, I have a pile of dirt. Why did I leave that pile of dirt? Because for the first year at least, and maybe the first 2, you want a berm around this tree. You want something to hold the water, a bowl, a reservoir, something like this that holds the water. Again, really important that this root ball stays at ground level, and what seems to happen over years, we get tired of the berm, it looks funny in the yard, so what do we typically do? We take this berm and roll it into the hole and level off the ground. That's not what you want to do. Leave the berm as long as you can tolerate it, at least a year if you can do 2. As the tree grows, the berm needs to grow as well. Once you get tired of the berm, rake the dirt away from the hole. Again, very important to let this tree root stay at the same ground level, not to cover it up deeper than that. So get your berm built around the hole for holding your water. We'll water the tree in next, and then we'll go to the final step, which is the root stimulator. Okay, so generally speaking, this is how you plant a tree or shrub in Albuquerque. We've got this on our website at JerichoNursery.com. We've got it in the nursery in writing, general planting instructions. I'll rattle this off real quickly and not expect you to remember it because you just watched it. You have access to it on the internet. You can come by the nursery and pick it up. When you buy a tree or a shrub, you dig a hole twice as wide, same depth. You mix compost and or peat moss in 50-50 with the soil that comes out of the hole. You water every day for 2 weeks, every other day for 2 weeks, and you use root stimulator once a week for a month. So really important is winter watering. We suggest that new plants get watered at least once a week through December and January, and weather dependent will depend on how much and when you water. So this Root and Grow is a root stimulator. We recommend once a week for a month after planting. Excuse me for the big words. It has endobutyric acid, which is a rooting hormone, and B1 vitamin that stimulates root growth with a very mild fertilizer. Really helpful for putting in a new tree or shrub. Again, once a week for a month, baby food, just a little Root and Grow, fresh start, getting things going for the first month or so. So once you've watered this tree 2 or 3 times, you're going to take a water can or a 5-gallon bucket. You're going to fill up with water. Use 3 ounces of this per gallon. I'm a generalist. That's about 3 ounces. If you want to measure, it's probably better as long as you mix it with water and don't use too much. Knowing this will make 10 or 12 gallons of solution. Mix it with water. I let the hose be my spoon. Once I'm finished, I've watered 2 or 3 times. I apply my root stimulator. It's a little too slow for me. You can see the coloration of it. Make sure you get a good thorough 1 gallon. And again, generally speaking, enough water to get from top to bottom, enough root stimulator to get from top to bottom. Hope you've enjoyed and learned something from this lesson. Many more to come. Thank you very much.